everyone, welcome back to another video. So it's finally fall, yay. Although it's been fall for me since like the beginning of September 1st, because that's when I like to take out my fall decorations and decorate my room and my bookshelves, as you guys can see. Um, so I've had my shelves in my room decorated since September 1st, because to me that is the start of fall, even though we're just now technically getting into it. So, anyway, since it's finally fall, I am doing a fall recommended books list. On this list, I've got some mystery, some thrillers, and some horrors. So if you're ready for a creepy good time, let's jump into them. So I've broken up the books into three main categories: middle grade, YA, and adult. Most of these books are going to fall under the YA category because that's just what I read the most of. But I do have a couple adult and one middle grade series to share with you guys. So first off on this list, like I said, it's a middle grade series, and that is The Dreadful Tale of Prosper Redding duology. And this is a book about a kid named Prosper Redding, as the title implies, whose family made a deal and broke a deal with the demon named Alistair centuries ago. So now Prosper is cursed to have Alistair living inside of him, and he's got to find a way to break the curse and banish Alistair back to the demon realm. This was a fun, fast-paced, and entertaining series. It's middle grade, so none of it's really scary. So if you're the type of person who's like, I don't do well with horror or scary things, then this will probably be perfect for you because it's really not scary at all. I really like the characters in here. I thought Alistair was actually really funny in this series, so I like some of his moments. And he does have his own character development throughout the story, so I thought that was pretty interesting to see. The first book does leave off on a bit of a cliffhanger ending, so you'll probably want to have the second book close by. And the second book is The Last Life of Prince Alistair. So you'll definitely want to probably read them back to back because of that ending. But yeah, they were pretty fun and a perfect read for the fall time. So now I'm going to get into the YA books on this list. I'm going to try to go from least scary to most scary, but we all have different fears and things that creep us out. So my ranking may be different than how you would rank these books, so just keep that in mind. So starting off with the least scary or creepy book, in my opinion, I'd say is probably the Something Strange and Deadly trilogy by Susan Dennard. This is a paranormal story with zombies. Now, I am not a zombie person at all. I hardly watch any zombie movies or read any zombie books. They're just not the creatures that I'm into. But with that being said, I did love this series. Susan Dennard is probably the only person that could get me interested in a zombie story. So this story follows a girl named Eleanor who lives in this town where zombies are rising up. There's an army of zombies that attack the town, and one day Eleanor's brother goes missing, and she finds out that the person who is controlling these zombies is actually the one that took her brother. So she ends up having to get help from these local spirit hunters to try to find her brother and get him back. And these spirit hunters, I would say, are kind of like the Ghostbusters, but for zombies. This series, the first book, is one that took me a little while to get into, especially like I said, I'm not really a zombie person. But once I got into the story, it got better after that. It's been a while since I read these books. I read them a few years ago now, I want to say. But from what I remember, they're pretty predictable. Um, but even though they're predictable, they were still really enjoyable. They were a lot of fun. There is a romance in here, because, you know, YA, why not? So, YA, you're always gonna find a romance in it, no matter what the genre. So, there is a romance, but I actually like the romance in here. I thought it was pretty cute. I will say, I won't give any spoilers, but I will say the ending is a bit bittersweet. It's really beautifully written, but it still left me heartbroken. Next on my list is Spectacle by Jodie Lynn Dork. And this is a YA historical fiction murder mystery. I read this one earlier this year and I really enjoyed it. A lot of it reminded me of the Diviner series. And this story is about a girl named Natalie who just discovered she has these supernatural visions. And she lives in Paris, and at the time, there's a killer loose in Paris targeting young girls. So Natalie tries to use her visions to track down the killer before it's too late. Like I said, this one reminds me a lot of the Diviners, but much less creepy, much less scary. So if you're not, like, again, if you're not really into um, creepy horror, scary books, then this might be a good alternative because it's got a lot of the things that I love about the Diviners, but way less scary. Even the main character, Natalie, reminded me a lot of Evie from the Diviners. They are both reckless and impulsive, and they make these stupid decisions at times that you just want to smack them. But yeah, she just reminded me so much of Evie, and the whole book reminded me so much of the Diviners. So if you like the Diviners, you'll probably like this one as well. I won't say it's as good as the Diviners, because Diviners is pretty hard to beat, but this one was still really enjoyable. Okay, so the next one on the list, I actually had a hard time deciding between two of these. I kept going back and forth between which one was less scary or creepy. And really, these could probably be interchangeable on this list. But as of now, I'm going to go with Stalking Jack the Ripper by Carrie Maniscalco. And I'm going to read you the blurb on the back of this book because the blurb on the back is what made me want to pick up and read this book right away when it came out 3 years ago. And so, yeah, I'm going to read you the blurb. So the back says, he murdered women in cold blood. He terrorized an entire city. He taunted those of us who hunted him down. But despite all these horrors, in the end, I cannot deny it. I was the girl who loved the Ripper. So the first time I read that, I was like, what? What is gonna happen in this? So I had to pick it up and read it right away, which I did, and I loved it. If you like reading Jack the Ripper retellings, and you like kind of that time period and things, I think you'll really enjoy this one. I will say I don't think this book is scary, but it's very um, atmospheric and really reminds me of fall. There are some creepy pictures included in this book. I really like the pictures they included. Um, and I actually have a review of that book on my channel. So I'll link it below because I do show a couple of the pictures from the book. So there are some creepy pictures in it, but I mean, I'm kind of hard to scare with horror books. So to me, it wasn't scary, but it was a lot of fun. And I think it could be perfect for the fall. So the next one, this was not the one I was like debating with whether I should put this one before Stalking the Ripper or after. Um, but this one is the Mara Dyer series by Michelle Hopkins. This is actually one of my favorite series. Although it's been a while since I've read these books, so I don't remember too much other than the fact that they were pretty creepy, but also really well written, and I just love the series. That's pretty much all I remembered about it. So I did go back and watch an old book review I did for the first book, to kind of remember what the series was actually about. And it's about a girl named Mara who wakes up in the hospital after a tragic accident happens that basically killed all her friends. And she was like the sole survivor from this accident. And now Mara's been diagnosed with PTSD, but now she's having these hallucinations and nightmares, and she's not really sure what's real and what's not, and how much of it is a memory, and how much, she's not sure what actually happened or not. And so she's just trying to piece things together and figure out what happened that night. So if you love unreliable narrators and you love stories that have like a paranormal element to it, then you'll probably love this series. Towards the end of the series, book 3 does get way darker and creepier, and Mara actually kind of gets scary in book 3, which is why I was like debating, where to put this on the list. Book 1 and 2, it's very creepy and atmospheric, but it doesn't get as dark as book 3 does. And so it was really interesting to see where things end up in book 3 and seeing Mara's development and how things go. And that was pretty interesting to watch. I will say that I really liked how it ended. I felt like it was kind of genius. And I know some people are not going to agree with that. I know some people who, didn't like the ending or they hated the ending. But I thought it was really well done. And I thought it was a great end for the trilogy. So next on the list is, of course, The Diviners, because how can I not? It's fall and perfect fall time read, The Diviners. This is one of my all-time favorite series. I love it so much, and I cannot wait till the 4th book, King of Crows, comes out. I think I saw it said November, unless something changed. I don't know. I have to check on that. But I cannot wait till the 4th book comes out. So, this series, the first book, because the series kind of evolves over time throughout the books, but the first book, I describe it as a paranormal murder mystery set in 1920s New York. So if you love murder mysteries, you like having a paranormal element in your stories, and you like that setting, 1920s New York, this is perfect read for you. I will say this one is the first book is creepy and scary. It's very atmospheric, and the first time I read it, I literally was creeped out by the villain in the story. Such a good villain. I would also recommend listening to these on audiobooks if you're into audiobooks, because it's just super creepy listening to the audiobook as well. This series does follow a cast of characters, so we do switch point of views, but all of the characters are so well written that I loved reading all of the different points of views. So the first book starts off with Evie going to stay with her uncle in New York for a while. And Evie has this ability where she can touch an item and view its past, see scenes from the past of where that item has been. And so her uncle, Evie's uncle, the police are consulting with him on a murder case that involves like ritualistic aspects. Since he studies the occult and stuff, and so they're consulting with her uncle on this case, and Evie ends up coming along and of course touching an item and kind of seeing scenes from the past. And so she ends up trying to help her uncle with this case, using her ability to try to help him figure it out and solve who's behind these murders. So that's why I say this one, that's why I say Spectacle is a lot like The Diviners. You can kind of see, you got both books have a main character who has this special power or ability that are actually pretty similar to each other, and they both are using their powers to try to catch a serial killer. So that's why I say, Spectacle is a lot like The Diviners in that aspect, but, it doesn't have a huge cast of characters like The Diviners has, and it's much less creepy. They're both really good, but if you are going to only read one over the other, I would say go for The Diviners. But, like I said, if you don't like really scary, really creepy books, then Spectacle's probably the safer bet. I do have more of an in-depth review of The Diviners on Goodreads, so I'll leave my Goodreads link down below if you want to check it out. Next on the list is any of Don Kurdigich's books. I hope I said her name right, I don't know. But any of her books, really, because she has recently become an auto-buy author for me. She's like the queen of YA horror. I recently read her latest book, Teeth in the Mist, and oh my gosh, that was so good. So good and so creepy. And the audiobook made it just so much better. I will say, if you're going to read Teeth in the Mist, I recommend that book in both audio and physical format. I recommend reading them in both formats together, because the audio with the cast of characters and the sound effects and the narration was just so good. The audio book was amazing, but then the physical book has pictures, some really cool, creepy pictures, um, in the book as well. So you don't want to miss out on either experience, I don't think. So I would recommend both audio and physical. They're just so good. But my favorite book from her is actually called The Dead House. And I think that might have been her first book, I'm not sure. But that has been my favorite so far. So with The Dead House, it's got an unreliable narrator, a school fire, and kind of leaves you wondering, was it really an accident? And so we get the story told in different ways. So it's told through like police reports and diary entries and video transcripts, and psychiatric records. So it's told through all these different ways. And I just thought it was so well done, and I loved every minute of it. And I I love a good story with an unreliable narrator. That's that's one of my things that I'm like, if I know a story has an unreliable narrator, I automatically want to pick it up because I just like those stories. So, also with Dawn's books, all of them so far have been standalones. So if you're kind of like, oh, I don't really want to pick up a series right now, definitely check out her books. They're all standalones. I don't know if she will write a series, but as of right now, she's got 3 pretty great standalones. So the last series for this YA section is the Mary duology. And these books are Mary the Summoning and Mary Unleashed by Hilary Monahan. This is a Bloody Mary retelling, and it is not for the faint of heart. You guys, these books were scary and creepy, and I don't get scared by horror books that easily. There's only been a couple that actually literally scared me, and these were one of them. So this story is about a group of stupid, idiotic, naive, did I mention stupid? Teen girls who decide that they want to summon Bloody Mary. So, of course, they didn't really expect anything to actually happen until Mary actually does show up. And the first time, and yes, I did say the first time, it's like I said, these girls are stupid. So, the first time they summon Bloody Mary, they get kind of freaked out. Some of them got really freaked out, and she ended up going away, disappearing. And everything was fine, no big deal, she's gone. But then they decide to summon her again for a second time. And of course, that's when all hell breaks loose, because Mary gets released into their world, and now they're really freaked out because she's after them. And you just gotta wonder, like, why are teens in horror books and movies so freaking dumb? Like, they're not dumb in real life. I know teens in real life, they're not dumb in real life. But in horror books and movies, it's just like, really? I was pissed off with the stupid decisions these girls were making. But two, like I said, it was legit pretty creepy and scary. Um, but it was also really interesting because we find out more of the backstory of the ghost of Bloody Mary. We find out more about her story, how she died, why she's haunting girls, and like we find out a lot more of the myth and origin of that. And I always love exploring um, the origin of different myths. So that's something I really appreciated about this series. And so it was fun. It was pretty creepy. If you cannot handle scary at all, probably stay away from the series. But if you like a good creepy horror book, this is definitely one to pick up. So now we've gotten up to the adults category. So the first book that I'm going to recommend under this category is The Girl on the Train by Paula Hawkins. This is a mystery thriller type of book, and it's about a woman named Rachel who takes this train to work every day, and on her daily commute, she always looks out the window and she sees this couple living in this house that her train passes by every day, and she sees this couple every day on her way to work, and she starts making up stories in her head about what they're like as people and what their life is like, and just making up a whole little story around them in her head. And then one day, as the train goes by, she sees something kind of shocking, and she ends up becoming involved in their lives, inserted into their lives, and it's pretty much all I can kind of say without getting into any spoilers. I did enjoy this. I will say the middle part of the book was kind of slow to me and dragged on a little bit to me. But if you can push through that, the ending gets much better. And I will say one of the things I liked about the series is you can figure out the mystery behind this if you pay attention to all the clues given. They're very subtle. So if you if you're the type of person who likes being able to figure out a mystery before you get to the end of the book, I would say definitely pay attention to all the subtle clues given. I think Paula did a great job at giving us enough subtle clues that if you pay attention to them, you can figure out the mystery, but at the same time, they're easy enough to overlook or attribute to something else. So yeah, if you're looking for more of the mystery thriller and not so much horror, definitely Girl on the Train would be one. So the last book on this list is Final Girls by Riley Sager. So Final Girl is like a term for the lone survivor of like a horror movie like massacre. So Quincy, Lisa, and Sam are all final girls. They've all survived a horrific event that left all their friends dead. And so we follow Quincy, our main character is Quincy, and it's been 10 years since her event happened that left all her friends dead, and she was the only one that survived. And so it's been 10 years She's starting to move on. Things are getting better for her. She has a caring boyfriend. She has this great apartment in the city. She has, a popular baking blog. And so things are going well for her until she gets news of Lisa's death and Sam shows up at her doorstep unexpected. So now Quincy's gotta figure out what's going on before her and Sam end up just like Lisa. So this was really, really good. This was my first Riley Sager book that I've read, but now I want to read his other books. So this was a thriller, and the twist at the end I did not see coming at all. I was kind of trying to figure out what's going on and who's behind all this. And I had my suspicions of who it might be, but then when we got to the end, I was like, wow, I would not have guessed that at all. And so I really like the twist and I like the reveal. If you like thrillers and you like that kind of final girls trope, you'll probably really like this one. So yeah, this was another one that's, perfect for fall. So those are the books I'm recommending for fall. Let me know in the comments below what are some books you would recommend for fall. And if you've read any of these books, let me know what you thought of them in the comments below. And I will see you guys soon with another video. Bye!